you know, because I get hit a lot because I criticize the black community for a lot of their faults. They, you know, prioritize a bunch of stupid shit, and then they, instead of like attacking my arguments, they tell me, well, you're not even black, so you can't comment on this. So I'm like, what kind of low IQ logic is that? So you're telling me that I can't criticize something because I'm not of that community? That's retarded. That's like saying, oh, you can't say 1 + 1 is 2 because you're not a mathematician. You fucking retard. Like, no. The black community has some real big problems. Too much victimization, too much blaming on white people, too much blaming on police brutality, not enough fathers, way too much, you know, care about drugs and, you know, drug trafficking, being in gangs, gang culture, stupid
look at the rap music. How damaged has that been to black people?
Fucked up, dude.
All these black guys, even like a lot of black guys from richer homes, they'll go and imitate this thug culture because they think that's what they're supposed to be black. I remember seeing it in college, these like rich black dudes, but then they're trying to act all gangster because that's what they see, and it's just pathetic.
Backwards, man.
And these girls twerking, the sexy reds, it's just disgusting and degenerate, and it's destroying black culture. Yeah. And if you say that, oh, you're a racist. Like, no, I'm not a fucking racist. I want them to do better. I don't want black people out shooting people. You know, black people and Asians were like, black people in San Francisco were attacking Asians nonstop. They started pushing stop Asian hate. All of a sudden they stopped when they saw it was all black attackers. It's just like, there's clearly some problems in the communities. And the problem is it's not an easy fix. So it's easier just to say racism.
Yeah, or systemic racism or any of this other bullshit, which I don't think, like, you can't use racism anymore because that's what they love to use as like systemic racism. Like, you know, things aren't fair in judicial system towards black versus whites. How about this? How about you just don't get involved in the judicial system? How about you just don't commit crime? How about you stop making fucking excuses and crying about systemic racism or whatever? It's like, dude, you live in the best country in the world, and I would argue black people nowadays have more opportunity than anyone else. Yeah. You got affirmative action, DEI, whatever, people that aren't qualified are getting jobs, etc. You know, that are, you know, getting jobs over their white counterparts. And then for some odd reason, if I call this shit out, I'm considered a white apologist or a white nationalist or a white supremacist. Like, no, I just acknowledge the reality that in America, right, unless if you're a white male, you know, everything is against you if you're a white male. Like, white males are some of the most targeted race because everything can be blamed on them. You know, that's just the reality. So I call it out.
Yeah, I would say if you're like, if you're young and white, put something else on your, if you're for resume or job, put you're black or Native American. I had a family member, I shouldn't say who, she applied for a scholar. There was something, it was so ridiculous.
She said Native American?
No, this is real. It shouldn't be real. I couldn't believe it, but she got like a $30,000 scholarship a year because she said she was a non-binary lesbian. You can't be a non-binary lesbian because if you're non-binary, you're not a sex. And a lesbian. I thought she was like bullshit me first, but showed me like a massive scholarship. Good for her paying her her college, but it was like I thought she was bullshit me first, but it's like well, I'm not going to say what family member, but they confirmed it, like their parents and stuff. So her parents didn't have to pay for school because she pretended she was a non-binary lesbian, which can't even exist.
This whole alphabet agenda is fucking bullshit. Like these rainbow flags, we need to get rid of it.
Burn them.
These fucking.
But it's a hate crime if you burn them.
Yeah, it is.
So don't burn them, people.
But you can burn the American flag though.
And not a pride
no
flag.
problem. You could burn the American flag.
You guys get charged for hate crime for like peeling out and something in the road because they have these giant flags in the road. People get hate crimes for that. It's just disgusting. Truck. I'm so sick of this bullshit flags.
These gay flags, get rid of them. These fucking, you know, transgender people, whatever, like saying all this bullshit and like we're coming for your kids. Like I think, okay, I'm gonna say some offensive shit here, but I'm just gonna say
good, fuck it.
Okay, so with the gay stuff, we need to ban open homosexuality. Okay, it should be criminal if kissing each other or showing any type of affection. Same with no pride flags in schools. Completely ban any type of education on LGBT community, any of that stuff. Get rid of critical race theory because it teaches people to be victims. Get rid of all that shit. You can't turn kids into genders. I don't give a fuck what they say, kicking and screaming. I feel like I'm a girl. Well, shut up, buddy. You're a fucking guy. You're going to stay a boy until you become an adult. And then we're going to put you on a psych eval before we even transition. You make sure you're fucking sane before we even give you the opportunity. You got to be 18 years old. You got to go through a psych eval, right? And if you do, we're going to send you to a psychiatrist because I don't think transgenderism is natural. I think it's a fucking mental.
Should shut down all the clinics.
We need to shut that shit down.
I don't think we should do the clinics period for the transgender. You know, before I said 18, but I don't think we should do it at all. Yeah. Would they cut your arm off if you went into a place? They would say, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So
why are we cutting people's dicks off and tits?
You're sick. They shouldn't be able to get married. Fuck that.
No, I actually at the time I supported that, but looking back, I was wrong. The slippery slope people were right because that's when things really got crazy.
All this bullshit
I was
now
like, oh, just let them get married, but I can look back and say I was wrong.
That's what started the problem.
I don't even hate gay people, but I think it should be It used to be embarrassed. They should be underground about it. It's not something to be proud of. I really don't want to watch two guys kissing. I don't want my children's show having to watch guys kissing. You know, if you have kids, you have to watch everything your kids see now because they're putting all kinds of crazy shit in the kids. It's just, we don't need it. You definitely should not have two gay guys adopting. Have you seen that?
Nope.
When they take a baby and they hand it to these two men, they pull it from their mother. It's the most sick thing you see, and the kid's just bawling and crying.
Children need a mother and a father, not two dads, not two moms. Like that, they like gays should not even be allowed to be around children. To be honest with you, if I'm going to be all the way honest,
the molestation rate is about 50%.
Yeah, I used to catch child pedophiles, these pedophiles all the time. They're always
high percentage of them.
Most of them. Like, yeah, get the shit out of schools. No pride flags. No more pride parades. You can't run around in a major city with your fucking underwear on in front of these kids. And if you do,
naked in San Francisco.
We put you in fucking. Like, look, you want to be gay? It needs to be completely indoors. I don't want to see no fucking dudes kissing each other. It's unacceptable. It's disgusting. And the most important thing is, children are impressionable and they're innocent. We don't want to corrupt their minds with this bullshit. It's already hard enough to raise kids. Like, what the fuck do we have this bullshit going on? Like, no. So yeah. I think all homosexuality, like open homosexuality.
Push it underground like it used to be. Turn it 100 down to rest people, my opinion, but it should be pushed underground.
Yeah,
and I guess you make the law where you can't do it in public. The gay clubs used to be like embarrassing. Guys would sneak in.
Yep.
There's places in San Francisco they'd be sneaking in at night with like and drag and shit. Now they're just like parading around in the open. You should be embarrassed.
Or
if
we
you're
can
a
like relegate
dude.
them to like their own like little neighborhood where they can do all this bullshit.
But keep it right there if you.
But it's only there exactly. So like in a lot of these like gay dominant neighborhoods. Cool, we give you guys a little zone where you guys can hang out and do what you guys want to do, whatever the fuck, because there ain't gonna be kids in there anyway, because gays can't have kids. So cool, we put them there, and then they can do what they want there. But if you are caught outside of that doing homosexual activity, pride flags, any of that stuff, people might sound far right for that. But genuinely, I do believe the children are the future. The nuclear family is the backbone. We have to do everything in our power to promote that and protect that. And these fucking gays aren't contributing to society from the nuclear family perspective.
Yeah, I would have thought this was crazy a couple of years ago, but I can see the damage it's done. So sometimes you got to evolve and admit you're wrong.
We've gone so far.
It sounds extreme what you're saying, but no, exactly. We have to overcorrect because it's like I don't want to see dudes kissing, and it's so bad. There's this in San Francisco. There's this thing called the Folsom Street Fair. I recommend some reporter go here. I thought about going out there, but I couldn't film it. It's so disgusting. It's the most deprived thing you'll ever see.
Is that the sex fair?
It's a gay leather sex fair.
I saw that. Disgusting.
You will see things. If a journalist, I think people are just posting.
They're like pissing on each other and shit.
Yeah, they're pissing on each other. They're whipping each other. They're having gay orgies. I went there and this part of me died. I was just like, oh my God. My friend's like, oh, it's a leather sex festival. I was thinking there'd be a bunch of like chicks there. It was just a freaking 95% just gay filth, disgusting. Like it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Someone needs to. And that same day I came home, there's two dudes butt fucking in front of my apartment door. And I'm like in the high end apartment, bro. I almost just flipped out and wanted to like punch them, but I also didn't want to touch two gay dudes. And the cops would just stand down and allow it. But they wouldn't allow like regular people to go fucking doorways and stuff.
Yeah, it's like unacceptable.
Different rules for different groups. In San Francisco, different rules for gays, different rules for blacks. It's like they have different policing. Yeah. The guy who was the DA in San Francisco happened to be, he ran on a campaign of making jails equitable, which means he wanted to charge black people less prison time than white people for the exact same crime. And he actually won. He was so bad they recalled him in San Francisco because it was complete madness. He was just letting all black people out of jail. But listen to this. His parents were terrorists. They killed, I believe, 3 cops. They're part of a black liberation army that was going around robbing banks. Also, obviously, the Weather Underground is called. So it's like the Weather
He's a black Jew?
No, they're white Jews, but they worked for some black liberation army.
Okay.
But the black guys were just hustling them. They were having them rob banks to do like cocaine and shit.